Hey guys, happy Monday morning. It's August 31st. We're getting towards Labor Day weekend. I'm back with you and hopefully a little bit less busy than last week. I'm speaking a bit quietly because there are a couple of Zoom sessions going on around me in rooms quite close by. Yeah, and city online classes began this week, so I have 3 more online classes just started. If any of you are in there, please give me a shout out, and I'm glad you're taking a couple of classes with me. So I think we're up to full load right now. We'll see if we can all stand it. So this week we have an interesting module coming up. You'll find in the module an explanation of assignments that are coming up over the next 4 weeks. We're sort of stepping up to conceiving a screenplay and writing, the ultimate goal is to write 10 pages of professionally formatted screenplay. The steps basically correspond to a kind of a well-worn path in the industry in terms of how to develop a screenplay, starting out maybe with a character in mind. I'm not sure. So last week we took at least one approach to sort of envisioning a character. I also asked you to put that character into a dramatic situation. Now we're going more from the plot angle. Your assignment this week is going to be to write a premise and a log line for your script. So this is a place where, in broad strokes, you'll outline an idea that you think has promise for an episode of a dramatic or comedy screenplay. And remember, the ultimate goal is 5 weeks from now to come up with 10 pages of professionally formatted writing with characters and dialogue and such. So this week it's premise and log line. And the assignment asks you to kind of show your process a little bit. This is the process that is described in chapter 2 of the textbook. A very interesting part of the text, the book, that I want to emphasize is this idea of show, don't tell. And this is kind of a universal in writing for visual media like screenplays, but also it would be equally important in documentary or news production. It's the idea that everything is more engaging and interesting if you're showing it to us rather than telling it to us. In terms of dramatic stories, this goes into, again, a contrast that I think I drew in the first week between writing short stories and novels, where you have a chance to narrate a character's internal life, versus writing for the screen, where we have to see that demonstrated to us in terms of action, behavior, the way people speak and such. But a lot of that is going to be subtext because we cannot just jump into somebody's mind. So this is one of the limitations, and one of the specializations in writing for visual media is going to be, how do you externalize the interior life of at least your protagonist, because most other characters cannot be externalized. We don't have the time. Okay, so that's something to pay special attention to as you read up on the chapter. In this week's discussion, I hope it'll be fun. I've kind of set up a little game where I ask you to think up the log line for a very well-known story. Could be, my example in the discussion is The Wizard of Oz. It could be a film or television show or a folk tale, anything. So without telling us the title of this thing, write a log line for it, post that by Thursday, and then we'll see in the ensuing discussion whether people can guess what the the IP, the cultural property, is based on your log line. Okay, this is in order to get some more practice at knowing what the essential parts of a log line are, because that is also spelled out in the textbook. Won't go into it now. Okay, so hopefully that will be a fun discussion, a bit of a game this week to reinforce what a log line is. And as I said, you'll find in there a description of what the next 4 or 5 weeks of assignments are going to look like as we step up into writing some 10 pages of screenplay. Okay, so just a final note, I wanted to address the issue of deadlines in the discussions. I want to do that as efficiently as possible, but I'm getting emails from people saying, oh, I missed Thursday, sorry, I'm not used to having put something in midweek, and so on and so forth. So let me explain this, all right? A discussion in real life is people talking. Um, when we bring that online, what undermines that communication aspect of it is if we post at the very last minute. It's kind of like the equivalent of, being invited to a party and walking in at 2 a.m. and, just starting to talk to a near empty room, right? So you don't want to show up at the last minute. You want to show up, somewhere in the middle when there's people who are talking and having fun. Same thing for our online discussion. In order to make that point, I usually say something is due by Thursday. In other semesters, when life is normal and it's, I ask people, okay, I take points off for Thursday, yeah, if you're late. But in this case, I'm just going to say, try to get a post in midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, because if you wait until Saturday, Sunday, you've missed the whole discussion. Okay, so I'm not going to take points off if something comes in after Thursday. In fact, I'm going to give you points as long as it's in by the deadline Sunday at 11 p.m. Okay, and the reason I'm doing that this time, although it undermines my attempt to make the discussion better, I'm counting on you guys to try to keep the discussion real by posting early on, but I won't take points off. However, everything does have to be done by Sunday at 11 p.m. I'm lightening up because I don't know what kind of situation the people in this class have. There are 40 people in the class. Some people lost jobs, some people have to change schedules, so on. So I just want to be cool about it. Okay, so that's the story about discussions. I want to ask you to make them good, and you have been. We're over 100 posts in our first discussion, and that frankly is something I can't quite keep up with right now, but we're doing our best. Okay, so post midweek if you can. If you can't, get something in by 11 p.m. on Sunday, and my thanks to all of you who are participating and interacting in a great way. All right, so have a good week. I'll be back next week with another video, and of course I'll be trying to stay up in the discussions online. Take care.